morning. I'm Katherine.
I'm Datha.
And we're here to talk about garbology. We're going to explain what garbology is, why we use garbology, rules for a successful garbology encounter, some examples and videos of how garbology works, and garbology assessment outcomes. Now, garbology is a simple, fun, low-tech, can be used on business students, non-business students, high-income, low-income students. Students work in teams, and they use clean trash, make that clear, it's clean trash, to facilitate the identity of consumer characteristics so that they can make educated guesses about what consumers might purchase.
Garbology employs observational research methods, and it will serve as a bridge between consumer behavior and marketing research. We use the garbology exercise in the principles of marketing class, but you could easily use this in marketing research or a consumer behavior class as well. We use it once the students have had some consumer behavior, but also a touch of marketing research, so they know what they're doing. They understand what observation is. This exercise allows us to explore the theory and yet give the students hands-on experience from a practitioner's point of view.
And garbology also shows how marketing combines archaeology, anthropology, psychology, and the law.
Why don't we show them how it works, Katherine?
All right, let's do some rules first.
Okay.
Rule number 1.
Trash may include well-rinsed bottles and cans, no packaging with food in it. Any alcoholic containers must be from a student who is at least 21, dry campus. Rule number 2.
Trash may not include used toilet paper, facial tissue, paper towels, or personal hygiene products. While this may sound obvious, yes, you have to tell them.
Yes. Students may, however, include the wrappers from any of these products or any of the packaging they have for that. Rule number 3, Katherine.
They may also include a picture from a magazine or newspaper or an online source or something that's too big to fit in a trash bag, or maybe they've already discarded the packaging. Rule number 4.
Students may include receipts for any product or service, but the key to this rule is it must be a product or service that they themselves use and have consumed. Rule number 5.
They must have at least 10 items in their trash collection. They may count the receptacle. For instance, a gift bag could count as a receptacle and would count as one of their 10 items. Well, they could use a box.
Yeah.
Anything that's not a trash bag could count as one of the 10 items. Rule number 5.
Well, no, we're going to look at what would constitute a
bag.
poorly constructed bag. And such a bag might be an empty box of cereal and 9 receipts. You can't really draw a lot of conclusions from that. Okay, Katherine, are you ready for some trash?
You betcha.
Under the table right there is a box. This is one of my favorites from a student.
Whose is it?
I'm not going to tell you. Figure it out.
You're going to make me work hard. All
Yes.
right. Let's see. I've got
Go
size
ahead
12.
and forward for our little Nike.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the student used a Nike box?
Yep. And it's a size 12, so I'm thinking it's a male athlete or somebody who works out a lot.
Look inside first, though.
Oh, cupcake papers, empty box of baking soda, pure vanilla extract, yeah. No, I don't cook very much. And let's see, active use. Okay, so it's a girl who bakes and has big feet. I'm just guessing.
Keep looking.
Let's see, vitamin water and some sort of power bar and and matches. Let's see. It's a female with big feet who likes to bake, and maybe she uses the matches for some sort of incense or candle stuff.
What do I tell you about assumptions?
She says that. Oh.
Yes, I do.
All right.
Keep digging.
All right, okay. I've got a fraternity key ring, and I've got some Axe men's hair gel.
So do you still think it's female, Katherine?
I think it's a male who eats portable food, who likes to bake, is a member of fraternity, and I bet because of the matches, can't have those on campus, so I'm thinking he lives off campus.
There you go. What would you sell to this consumer?
I would sell him maybe a different brand of the vitamin water. Maybe he would like a different, what is this, pomegranate, so maybe he'd like something different.
Okay.
I would sell maybe a different hair product, or another Axe brand hair product, or a different kind of shoes, or odor eaters, or shoelaces, or maybe socks.
See how excited they get when they do this in the classroom. Let's look at how we do this in the classroom.
Let's see. Let's note that we only had one section of this class when we were doing this. With two sections, we would use the trash bags collected from section 1 in section 2 and vice versa. As there was only one section, we divided the class in half and put the green numbered stickers on one set of trash receptacles and then gray numbered stickers on the other set of the trash receptacles. And then we divided the class in half. So that the gray half would only get the green bags and the green half would only get the gray bags. And the whole idea was that, of course, one, that they wouldn't get their own bag, and that they also wouldn't get the bag of a sorority sister or fraternity brother or roommate or coworker, so that we didn't have familiarity skewing the analysis.
Okay, let's watch some students come to choose a bag for their analysis. This is where we point out the legal aspects of garbology. Students are often amazed that it's legal in most cities and municipalities that as soon as a consumer places their trash at the curb, anyone can take it. Consumers don't even know this. If people knew what you could learn from gathering their trash, you would not put it out at the curb. We are what we discard, aren't we?
Yes.
Archaeologists have known this for decades. This is why they are experts at revealing secrets of civilizations and indigenous cultures, because they find a trash area, a place where everything's been discarded, and perform their analysis.
Let's watch a class in action. Garbology is fundamentally an exposition and observational research. Through their engagement with observation, students can learn what researchers gather information from consumers and their consumption patterns, without interacting with the subject at all. Marketing practitioners consistently utilize observational research, and because they don't have to have direct interaction with the subject, who might lie, might not have accurate recall, or refuse to participate. So this often makes observational research the most expedient and generally the least expensive way to perform consumer research.
Now typically, we also throw in a ringer bag. This was put together by our administrative assistant at our university. She's a smoker, a drinker, and an avid walker. And when students open her bag and they find that there are high-end athletic shoes and cigarettes in there, they're very confused, but this teaches them to break down their assumptions. Teaches them you cannot make assumptions, especially in garbology.
During a 50-minute class, most students can produce written analysis for usually 2 or 3 bags. This usually means that more than one group analyzes a bag. So we're going to look at gray bag number 26. Gray bag number 26 was analyzed by 3 sets of students. So let's first see what was inside gray bag number 26. We had Pringles barbecue chips, Prairie Farm chocolate low-fat milk. We had a Lunchable, ham and cheddar. We had Mike's Harder strawberry lemonade, Great Value purified water, Got to Be Glued spiking gel, Pucker sour apple sass vodka, Sutter Home pink Moscato rosé wine,
You see the trend here?
Barefoot Merlot, and it was all inside of a Glix bag. Now, let's look at what our first pair of researchers came up with. Our first pair consisted of 1 male and 1 female, both domestic students. And their analysis that they developed about this consumer said that she was female, she was over 21 years of age, she lives off campus, very social, eats a lot of junk food, she seems to live life in the moment, she buys local clothes and may like to wear new clothes. They might try and sell her on kinky vodka, which is an alcoholic beverage similar to what she's already drinking. And they may also try to sell her a concert ticket. And they think that the influences for her were external and based on social status.
Okay, our second pair of researchers, 1 domestic, 1 international, 2 females thought it was a male. Here's their profile they developed. likes fashion, willing to pay more for it, lives off campus, likes smaller, simpler meals from all the snacks, likes to party and have fun, I don't think anyone would doubt that, likes flavored and fancy alcohol, and they might try to sell this consumer cologne. They think that this is someone who cares about his appearance.
Our third pair of researchers consisted of one male, one female, both domestic students. Let's look at their profile. They said it was a male, an American, a non-athletic student, likes to shop, on the move, likes to eat quick foods, social, likes to drink, and they might try and sell this consumer high-end scent, like Adidas cologne and expensive name brand clothing.
Okay, so as you can see from the three groups, there was some disagreement as to whether the bag creator was male or female. Well, here he is. And once the bag creator heard the student's analysis of his bag, he said, even though the gender was a little confusing, that people nailed his characteristics very specifically.
At the end of garbology, students recycle the contents. Once they finish recycling, the main agenda on the students' minds is the final, to find out how they did. They want to know how accurate their assessment was, and they want to know how accurate others were at assessing them.
But what's on our minds once we conclude garbology? We're looking at what's the impact this activity has on student learning and student retention of information. Semester after semester, students who participated in garbology consistently scored at the 92% level on multiple choice questions that dealt with observational research generally, garbology specifically, at the 84% level on short answer or essay questions on observational research, and they tend to score about the 90% mark on applied activities within their marketing plan. But let's let the students speak for themselves.
Sometimes consumers don't tell the truth when we question them in surveys. Garbology lets us see how they really live. Sometimes consumers don't know what they want. If we observe consumers, we can find out what they want and why they want it.
I personally like hands-on. To actually sit there and write down what I thought about each person was helpful. So when it comes to a test, I'll think back to this instead of having to study from a piece of paper. That's music to our ears, isn't it? Spending a whole day learning about people and their habits was really beneficial. And I thought it was interesting and insightful and helped a lot of people to think outside of the box and really extrapolate on their own. We did it early on in the semester, so I feel like it translated to the rest of the course in drawing conclusions and making connections between things that weren't readily apparent at face value.
Thank you for coming out this morning to hear us talk about garbology. We hope we've conveyed some of the fun and excitement of garbology and what it can bring to your classroom. It's worked better than we ever imagined it would, and it can work in your classroom as well. Remember, it could be used in a principal's class, which is where we use it, but you could use it in a consumer behavior class or a marketing research class. If you're interested in the link to our YouTube video or would like a copy of the handouts of directions that we give out in class, we'd be happy to share, and our email addresses are up here. Thank you for joining us.
Yay.